Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we were explaining last week how the Lord gave his heart to Arjuna, and poured everything that he is into Arjuna. And in this way, some examples were given there that then there swept a great flood of happiness that even the all-pervading Lord got drowned in it. When a sea meets another sea, doubling its water, it rises high in the sky to accommodate itself. So when the two met, they could not control themselves. This is what is called as how that one reality, that one without a second reality, how it expresses itself, and why, if we want to use the word why it expresses itself. It wants to increase its happiness. So just like water meeting water, there is a high. Exactly the same way, consciousness meeting consciousness, there is a high. Consciousness meeting a body, no high. Only attachment. Consciousness meeting senses, mind, intellect, well, whatever, the emotions, the seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, taster, thinker, all that comes about. But no, we are talking about here as our attention should be that when consciousness meets consciousness, this is how the teaching is transferred to the student. We saw that in the Kathopanishad, that when the student becomes completely empty, okay, empty of what? Empty of all judgment, empty of all doubts. How can you be free of all doubts? Mind is full of doubts only. By surrendering to some higher, by being available to the teacher, to the scriptures, that yes, I don't know many things, but right now I'm available. Be completely empty. Do not allow anything else to come and corrupt your availability. And that's the way. And when that happens, consciousness meets consciousness. And in this way, who could know and tell how it happened? When consciousness meets consciousness, then two masters meet, they look at each other and walk away. There's nothing to be said. There's nothing to be communicated. Because he is established in infinity, the other one is established in infinity. When infinity meets infinity, does it require any communication? See, communication is one who is attached somewhere. Oh wow, that was fantastic, this is wonderful, it was esoteric, it is mystical, it is, I think I got enlightened, I just cracked the code. Today's meditation, I cracked the code. It's not like that. If you crack the code and you are still available to know that you cracked the code, then nothing has happened. See, but here we are talking about consummation. Yes, the sleep also consumes you in the night, but it is temporary. See? But when consciousness consumes the mind, then it's once and for all. Mind can never come to know its own source. See? It is only by grace. So here, it is not Arjuna is having grace on Lord Krishna to be the student. It is the Lord who is showering his grace on the available student. Huh? Yeah, what is that? Shishyasteham shadhimantam prapannam. I am your disciple and I am your devotee. Disciple changes himself, and for devotee, the Lord changes himself. So here we see the Lord is changing and pouring everything that he stands for or who he is into the heart of Arjuna. And this cannot be spoken about. Last week I gave you the example of the chocolate also. Nothing can be spoken about. It's just like that. In this way, the Lord disclosed the sacred text of the Gita, which contains the quintessence of the Vedas and which everyone is qualified to study. So, see, Jnaneshwari Maharaj is particularly saying which every person is allowed to study, or यही बोला है ना, allowed to study, qualified to study. Everyone is qualified to study. Because in those times when it was written, 760, 50 years ago, that time the knowledge was only with the Brahmins, the educated class. It was not with the masses. And that's why you see many saints around this time, 700, Tulsidas ji came, this was there, and they translated, or the Valmiki Ramayana, which is all Sanskrit, was given to the masses by Tulsidas ji in the Awadhi language, isn't it? Now, all the common people, the farmers, the cobblers, the tailors, etc., everyone could see the beauty of the Ramayana because it was in their local language and they could understand the teachings also they understood, the emotion behind also they understood, the greatness of Ramayana also they understood. Before what they understood, that the Pandit is great because he is able to speak Sanskrit. They know Ramayana is great, Valmiki Ramayana is great, but he is the medium in order to know. He is the medium in order to know the Ramayana. It was never like this in our culture. In Sanatana Dharma, it was never like this. The knowledge is always open to everyone. Just like the river is available to everyone. You want, you go and pick up a bucket of water or a pot of water or a mug of water or just look from outside. Or you can take a dip in it. It is free. Exactly the same way. Here is the quintessence of the Vedas. Last week I explained that all the essence of the Vedas, the highest knowledge in the Vedas is the Upanishads. If all the Upanishads are taken and their essence is taken, that is Bhagavad Gita. And I said something else also. If you take the Bhagavad Gita and you see what is the heart of Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter. Or if you take the 9th chapter, then 4th and 5th verse. Maya tatamidam sarvam, that particular, those two verses. So, Gyaneshwari Maharaj is saying that, and which everyone is qualified to study. We were told, when we were studying the Upanishads, the windows were closed, doors were closed, no bird, no mosquito, no fly was allowed to come inside the room. All those grahasthas who were studying, they were those who were only coming temporarily as a time pass, not as a sincere student. There were many grahasthas who were studying throughout the 2 years, or they are committed for 6 months and they are continuously studying. They were allowed. But those who are weekend spiritualists, they were not allowed into the classes. Okay? Because their Shankar Bhashya was going on. But here, Jnaneshwari Maharaj, he is not barring anyone, unlike the Pandits. Why in the ashram this was practiced? Because it is so sanctified. It is so precious. Whenever there is something precious, we always put it in a locker, isn't it? This knowledge is so precious that a person who is not qualified to know it, these are two ways of looking at it. In the ashram, those who are not qualified to know it should not be given, because it will become a problem for their mind or their intellect to get this knowledge, because they will not know. Suddenly they have come in, they don't know what is going on, what is not, how the subject has been developed. Like when Swamiji gives this example, he was taking the class in Kaivalya Dham, and one lady, she has been hearing Swamiji on YouTube, everything, and she said, Swamiji, can I come to the class? I didn't know that you are taking class. She said, come. She came, she was doing some treatment, Ayurvedic treatment there. She came and she saw, because course going on for 2 years, Swamiji is gambhir, he is single pointed, he is no jokes, it's only the Panchadashi or the whatever he was taking at that time. And after the class, suddenly she put her hand up. What happened? Swamiji, what happened to your jokes? How come you are so serious? Swamiji, what are you talking about? Brahman, Brahman, Brahman. There is no laughter. Swamiji said, you stay in the dormitory. Don't come to the class. Not qualified. She is expecting entertainment. See, she is not looking at changing herself, or not ready to see who she really is in the light of the knowledge that is being presented by the Upanishads through the teacher. Instead, she is focused totally on something else. And like this is one example, like that many people will be having many different ways of looking at it. Once when we were having the Upanishad class, one of the trustees came of the ashram. Now you can't say no to the trustee. Upanishad is going on. First, our Saraswati Nilayam, where the classes are happening, and here is the Annakshetra. In between there was as wide as this concrete area was there from door till here. Fiat in those days. Upanishad is going on. This is at 7:30 in the morning. And it makes so much noise. Padak, paduk. And in that small area, he turned it around and he came with his wife, with his children. Must have come to with that I want to give respects to Swamiji or whatever, or came in his own ego, knocked the door. So Swamiji said, tell them that, because he didn't know who he is. No, I am the trustee. I should be allowed to, I can. Okay, come in. Lecture began. Sit quietly and listen to the lecture. Lecture started. Upanishad is going on, no jokes. Everything is gambhir, deep contemplation. Suddenly, in the middle of the class, he's saying, Swamiji, what is this? For 2 years, all they heard was Brahman, 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 Brahman. Aren't they mad? Oh, Swamiji, I never seen Swamiji angry like that. He said, stop recording. I was recording the audio. Someone was recording the video. He says, stop everything. He put the microphone off. No, microphone was on. He says, I don't care who you are. Get out of this hall right now. Right now. No, but. You are going out of this. Or should I call security? Oh. There is the sanctity of the environment has to be maintained. The respect for the teacher has to be there. Respect for the scriptures has to be there. What do they have respect for? For their position. I am the trustee, not for the knowledge. So when we are approaching this Jnaneshwari, when we are approaching chanting, or we are approaching the various other texts that we are doing, what is our disposition? Are we coming with reverence? Knowledge can be transferred from book into our mind only if we have reverence towards this book or this scripture or these words of Gyaneshwari Maharaj or for Bhagavad Gita or for whatever. If we don't have reverence, we will read it. That's it. Nothing has happened. No change has taken place. But for transformation to happen, we have to be doubt-free. For being doubt-free, you have to study the scriptures. If you think you are the body, you have to study the scriptures. If you think, no, I don't need, I am the Ramana Maharshi style. Good luck, go. He also used to study Ribhu Gita on his own. But his mind was quiet. He could understand what was being told. What do you understand? I'm just saying generally. What do you understand? So, great reverence. This is why we should have reverence towards the script, Bhagavad Gita. Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying, he is a realized master, he is saying, it is the creme de la creme of all the Upanishads. It is the nectar of all the Upanishads. Whom do we trust? A philosopher who is studying in university doing PhD, or we trust the words of a realized master? And not only him, so many. Madhusudan Saraswati is there, Chinmayananji is there, Shivananji is there. So many masters from beginning from Shankaracharya, from Vedvyas. From Vedvyas put it down, Shankaracharya wrote the commentary, Ramanujacharya wrote a commentary, our Madhvacharya wrote a commentary, Madhusudan Saraswati ji wrote a commentary. So many commentaries are there. Are they stupid to write commentary on such a text? There must be something great about it. That's why people, it is even translated into Arabic, the Bhagavad Gita. So what is the reason? There's something. There's a great secret hidden here. How to live your life within and without. And that art is given here. So here Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying that this art of living is available to one and all, not only to the educated class, but to one and all. Only hearing is enough. Shravan, Mananam, Nididhyasan, enough. If you have never gone to school, doesn't matter. You do studies, you listen. In the beginning time when there was no language, that time the word was transferred from the mouth of the teacher to the ear of the student. Only through Shravanam. There was no writing, there was no book for reference. The teacher keeps repeating, the teacher keeps saying, the student keeps repeating. And that's how he learned what his teacher had taught. Contemplation came afterwards. First learn. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi. You first learn. Then you start contemplating on the meaning. which everyone is qualified to study. Now you may ask how I came to know that Gita contains the original thread of the Vedas. Gyaneshwari Maharaj is telling that you may think, how come I know that it is Gita contains the original thread of the Vedas? I will explain to you clearly the theory underlying it, which is well known. The same Lord, where are we, man? The same Lord whose breath gave birth to the Vedas, who is true to his word, narrated this Gita through his own mouth. It is therefore proper to say that the Gita has its origin in the Vedas. Who is he? From where did the Vedas come? The Vedas are the breath of the Ishvara. See? So what are the Vedas called? Apaurusheya. Vedas are called, another word for it, Shruti, not Smriti. Smriti is to remember. Shruti is only heard. So who heard? The Rishis and Munis. Who are they? We don't know. They never said that it is ours, so they never wrote their name. Whom did they hear? In their deep contemplation on the Lord, on the divine, the Lord revealed it to them. Little bit creative idea comes and immediately we put a patent, isn't it? No patent here. Free for all. Free for all. The most ingenious creative revelation, but no patent, no ownership. So, that same Lord's breath are the scriptures, and that same Lord, he took incarnation as the Lord Krishna. And who has given Bhagavad Gita? Lord Krishna. Who is he originally? The Ishvara, the Narayana. So, the Vedas are also given by the same person, same being, and the Gita is also given by the same being. See? And therefore, the Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying, therefore, the original alone is expressing through the Bhagavad Gita. It is therefore proper to say that the Gita has its origin in the Vedas. There is another reason for this, that those essential form does not, what does it say? That whose essential form does not get destroyed, but in which its potential growth lies stored up, is called the seed. Now what is the seed? We did this example not yesterday, not in Jnaneshwari, in Kathopanishad it came. Not in the 2 cups, the verse before. The Hiranyagarbha, second stage. So what is this seed? The seed is that in which the potential of the root, the shoot, the branches, the innumerable future leaves, innumerable future flowers, innumerable future fruits are inherent within the seed. If you break open the seed, can you see anything? No. But is it there? Yes. So here Bhagavan Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying that there is that whose essential form does not get destroyed, but in which its potential growth lies stored up, is called the seed. And this is, what type of seed is this? This seed is very unique. Normal seed loses its existence once the shoot and the root come out, isn't it? But this seed is very unique. Even though the whole creation comes out, what is the creation again? Creation equal to waking plus dream plus deep sleep plus samadhi. The whole creation comes out, but seed remains the same. The eternal cause remains the same. In fact, normally in normal at the creation level we see the seed alone becomes the tree, branch, everything, isn't it? But it loses itself. But here the seed is becoming everything, is manifesting as everything. I shouldn't say becoming, is manifesting as everything without losing its seedness. Then what will you call it? Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. From this, that was created. What remained behind was complete Purna, and what came out was also complete Purna. This is what it is. See? So he says that just as the tree is stored up, we'll read 1431. तरी कांड त्रयात्मकु शब्द राशि अशेखु गीते माझी असे रुखु बीजी जैसा म्हणवनी वेदांचे बीज स्त्रीगती श्री गीता होय हे मज गमे आणि सहज दिसतही आहे जे वेदांचे तिन्ही भाग गीते उमटले असती चांग भूषण रत्नी सर्वांग शोभले जैसे तियेची कर्मादिके तिन्ही कांडे कोण कोणे स्थानी गीते आहातीत ते नयनी दाखवू ऐक तरी पाहिला जो अध्यावो तो शास्त्र प्रवृत्ती प्रस्तावो द्वितीयी सांख्य संग सद्भावो प्रकाशिला. Just as the tree is stored up in the seed, so the Vedas with its 3 divisions are stored up in the Gita. What are the 3 divisions of the Veda? The Karma Kand, the Upasana Kand, and the Gyan Kand. What was the Karma Kand? From chapter 2, verse number 31 or 32 onwards, till 6th chapter conclusion. Then Upasana means karma, means where doership is there. What happened as we went through? First we understood what the doership was, and as we went through it, what is the purpose of all actions? What is the purpose of all action? Purification. Purification is equal to what? Means what? Purification leads to what? Okay, let me... No. Yes, detachment, yes.
Single pointed mind. Pure mind.
Purification leads to the individual consciousness melting away and the infinite consciousness presenting itself, revealing itself. Correct? You are looking at the Prakriti, I am looking at consciousness. Purpose is not to remove Prakriti. Can you remove Prakriti? Can a realized person remove the body? Can a realized person remove the hunger? Can a realized person remove the breath? Can a realized person remove waking, dream, deep sleep? He cannot remove anything. Then purification means what? Initially we say these words, that it is to remove the body, remove the breath, let go of the breath, grow out of the breath, grow out of the mind. But now we are in 18th chapter. Now you have to understand it differently. That purification leads to the individual consciousness dissolving itself to be the infinite consciousness. That is what it's about. That is the process. But it is finding that there is something, it's not happening completely. So we saw in the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita that the seeker has given up all karma, karma sannyasa. I explained all that. We'll recap after the chapter is over. This chapter is over. See? So then only after karma sannyas, dhyana yoga was possible. But after I come out of Dhyan Yoga, the world is still there, the relations are still there, the people are still there, the joys and sorrows are still there, likes and dislikes are still there, success and defeat is still there. How do I transform or transcend that? So just quietening your mind, just purifying your mind to be the conscious principle was not enough. Yes, remember what I said? Purification leads to dissolution of individual consciousness and revelation of infinite consciousness. Now we are breaking that journey. That yes, we have come to understand that we are the individual consciousness, we are the Atma, but that this Atma is the infinite one. There are still some other obstacles. For that, what sadhana you did in the first 5 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, 6 chapters or 5 chapters, 2nd till 5th or 6th, that will not help you to grow further. That was only the first step. Where doership was there those chapters were. And what happened at the end of the doership? Doership was dissolved. But you cannot leave it just open. Your attention, when your mind is purified, the mind either it bypasses the totality and is the infinite consciousness, but the student is finding difficulty. And this is recognized by the Vedas. And therefore the second part is the upasana. Upasana is upa-asana, sitting near. Sitting near what? So such a seeker, yes, he is practicing in meditation, but rest of the time, 23 and a half hours a day, he is sitting near the divine total consciousness. Because the subconscious has to be purified still. Surrender is required. It's not a mere logical, I'm not the body, I'm not the breath, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, who am I? Tongue gone meditation. That's not enough. Now bhavana is required. This is what we are doing in Kathopanishad. Yesterday we saw. What was the bhavana? That I am that consciousness which is manifesting in and through every body. Every mind. Sahasra Shirusha Purusha, Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. That consciousness I am. And the teacher Yamraj tells, Etad Vaitada. This is that reality which you asked, Nachiket. See how it connects. Upasana leads you to Hiranyagarbha. That's maximum it can take you to. It cannot take you beyond. But it is a requirement. If a student is not able to straight away transcend from the individual to the infinite consciousness, why he is not able to? Because he still has many unanswered questions about the world. That is the problem. And in order to answer those questions, but what if I realize what will happen to my family? If I realize what will happen to my children? If I realize what will happen to my wealth? What if I realize will the wars will be over? Will there be peace? Blah, 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 blah. So he is told, upasana. That is where in the Vedas, all the Suktams and the Rudram and the Narayana Suktam, Durga, all the various compositions, they come. What do they give you? They give you how that one infinite consciousness alone is the source of the entire world. It is not source, it is the entire creation, it is the entire cosmos and expressing through the entire cosmos. And that you are. There it doesn't say, because there your attention is on Narayana or Ganapati or Skanda or Shiva or Devi. Why is that required? Because I am not ready to accept that one I am. So an idea is presented to us and it is valid because Vedas are talking about it, so that we learn to expand our consciousness. When we keep thinking of the Hiranyagarbha, how that total consciousness alone is expressing through all the individuals, all the beings, just like how the total ocean is expressing through all the waves, how the one gold is expressing through all the ornaments, or one mud is expressing through all the pots. Similarly, one consciousness, that one total consciousness alone is expressing through all the beings. So it is not. So what is happening in this presentation of thought? You may be seeing individual consciousness, but actually it is the one alone. You may be seeing many different types of ornament, but it is one gold alone. You may be seeing different pots, but it is one mud alone. Exactly same way. You may be seeing different beings, but the life that is expressing, or the consciousness that is expressing, is one. It is not many. Now, where has your attention gone through this upasana? On that one. What is the nature of that one? Where it is located, where it can, how do you contemplate on it? So is it that Narayana, he has got Chaturbhuj, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Devi, so many different types of Devis there. Ganapati with the Sunt and the Lambodar and with Ankush and all that. So now do I keep imagining of him as a form? Now you have done your masters. Now you come to PhD. The Gyan Marga. So karma, upasana and Gyan. And Gyan is Upanishads. And what are Upanishads telling? Only one thing. What?
You are that.
Correct. Upanishads are telling that consciousness you are. Till now you were studying the Narayana Suktam, Meda Suktam, this Suktam, that Suktam objectively. Start taking it subjectively. How do you take it subjectively? Then the way various Upanishads are there now. How we are taking Hiranyagarbha subjectively in Kathopanishad, Yamaraj is teaching Nachiket. We are taking that, isn't it? We are understanding that. Same thing was told Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. That was also Hiranyagarbha. Same thing was told by Lord Krishna, shown by Lord Krishna to Arjuna as the Virat Roop, Vishwaroop Darshan. But that was very, very objective. That was very objective. That was almost, he's giving a vision to Arjuna. Here, when we study the Narayana Suktams or Purusha Suktam, as we keep chanting and we keep contemplating on it, you start seeing, yeah man, it's the same air which everyone is breathing, is the same space everyone is occupying or expressing in and through everyone. It is the same sun which is coming to everyone. The vision is the same, eyes may be different, vision is same. Suddenly something starts shifting inside. See? And the speaker, when he comes to Gyan Marg, he understands that in objective approach, the answer is not there. He doesn't know where the answer is, but he knows that in objective approach, the answer is not there. Then what to do? You have to find a teacher. And you don't even have to find a teacher. You come to this conclusion in your life that I have worked this much out. Now what? What is the source of everything? From where has this whole thing come out? Where is it existing? Where is it going back to? Who am I? What is making the God alive? He is also seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, thinking. He has got a form. What is that which is, if I see in my mind, or Sahasra Shirsha is told, or Narayana Suktam is given, or Devi Suktam is, the deity is clearly explained what it is. In some Suktams, not only what it is, but also what is its potential. And where it is, it can be caught. If you go, when we chant Narayana Suktam, it's clear, so Hridaya Madhya, Tishtati Hridaya Madhya, something like that. So, but we keep chanting, we are not applying it on ourselves. So as we become subjective, we become introverted. As we become introverted without getting disturbed, sabotaged by the objectivity, answer will come from inside only. Because you are the answer to yourself. It doesn't need anything else. It doesn't need a trigger of the word. But as long as doubts are there, then trigger is required. Then not only trigger, but understanding is required. See? And that is given by the Upanishads. Now, in this Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter to 12th chapter is the Upasana. And from 13th chapter to 14th chapter is the Gyan. Actually, till 17th chapter is the Gyan. 18th chapter that we are doing is the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. What is more important? So here Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying that, where are we? Just as the tree is stored up in the seed, so the Vedas with its 3 divisions are stored up in the Gita. I therefore think that Vedas are contained in a seed form in this Gita, and this is also patent. Just as a body is adorned by jewelry, so the 3 divisions of the Vedas appear distinctly in the Gita. I have already explained all that. I shall now disclose to you where these 3 divisions of the Vedas, that is ritualism, spiritual practices and knowledge, occur. Now, we told you karma, upasana and jnana. Here he is taking it as the ritualism, which is karma, spiritual practices. As long as you feel that you are not that, till then some sadhana has to be done. What is the sadhana? Focus on Narayana, focus on Ganesha, focus on Rudra, whatever. And the last one, and knowledge occur. Now he is going through I have told you myself, now he is going through each chapter himself. Jnaneshwari Maharaj. What does he say? He says, chapter 1 tells us how this Gita came to be taught. The chapter 2 affirms the existence of the self. So what is he saying? He is saying that the first chapter is the reason why Gita came into existence. What was the reason?
Arjuna was confused.
What else? There was an identity crisis. There was a breakdown. So here, the Bhagavad Gita, why do you go to kitchen to eat food? There is a crisis, there is a hunger crisis. Isn't it? Why do you earn money? Because there is cash crunch. See? Otherwise, there is no need to go to work to earn. There is no need to go to kitchen to eat. There is crisis. When we rise above these teeny-meeny crises and come to the identity crisis, who am I? Where am I going wrong? Why things are not happening? See, one person is here in Melbourne only. I known him for last 15 years or so, and every now and then he comes, he has his own practices, doesn't want to study scriptures, that's okay. But when someone doesn't want to study scripture, then what do? You gave him some exercises, he's been doing it. And suddenly a point came in his life where his children were in their youth. 3 children, 3 boys, 2 are in youth. One is still in year 12, I think, or first year uni. And they are still behaving as kids. Mum is washing, mum is cleaning, mum is cooking, mum is washing plates, mum is doing everything, and these buggers are bringing their alcohol at home and drinking and making a mess, calling their friends, smoking in the house, and they're stronger than their dad. Dad cannot do anything. And dad is coming to me, Swamiji, what do I do? Huh? There, in my own house, I am afraid to tell my children, don't smoke, don't drink. I am afraid to tell my children, please give a hand to your mum. How much? I do the cooking. He does the cooking majority of the days. Because wife is working in the hospital. He says, I am afraid to tell something because when they say something, I can't answer back. Or they are so, what do you call? So aggressive, so insulting that I just want to walk away from there. I didn't produce them. I didn't become a father to hear this from them. And he is crying in front of me. 49-50-year-old man. What to do? I said, okay. And then at that same time, something binasta hai na, aise bolte hai na, something went wrong in that 1 year. His boss was after him, his work was suffering, he was not able to focus, So I gave him some exercise. I said, you start doing this. He became calm. But what about the family? Again, 2-3 times. You can't say something drastic first time. I said, you see, you teach, you tell them, come on guys, come on, up the ante, grow up. Nothing. I said, okay, today, if you want me to come, I will tell, but if you tell, is better. What do I tell? I said, go tell them, if next time that argument comes up, tell them the door is open, get out. It's my house, otherwise I'm calling police. And he did. Some argument came and the son abused him and he said, get out right now. To come to that point and still keep taking, it was not possible for him. He was losing his confidence that what type of a father I am. And they are born in somewhere else but brought up here, no? So they got all those type of expressions and habits, and they are working part-time. So I'm drinking with my money, who are you to tell me? I'm smoking with my money, who are you to tell me? I'm in my room, who are you to tell me? I enjoy dirty bed, who are you to tell me? Like that. So he told, get out of the house. He went, the second son also said, I am also going. How can you send my brother out? I also go, you also go. Mother, 1 week, 2 weeks, she cried. But after 1 year, he came just now, last week, after I came back from India. He says, Swamiji, thank you for giving me the courage to do that. Why? They have turned 180 degrees. Suddenly they have become totally responsive. Complete change. Where have those Rakshasas gone? I don't know. Within that 1 year, one has even bought an apartment, got a promotion. The other one is also doing well, but the middle one was very, very fickle-minded. But suddenly he is also changed. Fickle-minded, Arjuna was fickle-minded. See? Crisis. If you don't invite crisis in your life by yourself, you don't have to create one. But just recognize that right now also I am in crisis. What is the crisis right now? That again I have to attend the Bhagavad Gita class. This is the crisis. Again I am going to go to sleep. Again tomorrow I am going to get up. Till you don't visit it as a crisis. We are too comfortable with this thing called life as it is unfolding, as it is going on. Get up in the morning, go to work the whole day, get some money, eat the food, go to sleep, get up in the morning. Same thing going on and on and on. Well, and as long as everything is going, it's fine. And when crisis will come, that time you are not prepared. So who is a smart person? Who has assessed the world. Before the world, as our Gurudev used to say, before the world shaves you off, you shun the world. For that you need to bring on a crisis in your life. That how long am I going to keep teaching? How long am I going to keep listening? How long am I going to keep thinking that I am the body? Enough. Enough. We hear now, after we go out of the room, again we'll think the same way. So unless we don't find ourselves at this crossroad, knowledge will not come to us. You understand? Unless we don't present ourselves to this crossroad. Find yourself at a crossroad every moment of your life. You got two choices, either to validate the world or to validate the consciousness, that I am that consciousness. This is crisis for majority people. Am I the body or am I the consciousness? Crisis. No, I'm the consciousness. And then the hunger calls, or the bladder pressure calls, or the sleep calls. I'm the consciousness. I'm the consciousness. You have to develop the stamina, no? Otherwise we succumb to it again and again and again and again. See? So, wise people bring on the crisis on themselves and find a way before it can get better of them. You understand? Or even if it gets better, what is the better? Maximum what will happen? If you reassess the world, you will have deep vairagya. But what next? That you don't know. But you come to deep vairagya, a dispassion. What next? Teacher will come into your life. There's no doubt about it. It will happen. If you are searching what next, answer will come from somewhere. It can come through scripture, it can come through a teacher, somewhere it will come. Or it can be coming from inside also. See? So first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, here Gyaneshwari Maharaj tells us how this Gita came to be taught. Why did you come to Bhagavad Gita? What is that impetus in your life that made you commit to Bhagavad Gita for last 6-7 years? What is it? Is it to validate Gita? Is it to appreciate Gita? Yeah, I know it is talking very great. Enough. Or you could have gone home. Then what is bringing you back to it, commit to it, day in and day out, day in and day out? Every Thursday you come. Every Wednesday you attend the Kathopanishad class. What is that? Find out. See? That is and if there is no answer, it's okay. can't remember. It's okay. But the fact is, your recognition is that you are deeply interested in scriptures. Isn't it a fact? You're deeply interested in scriptures. That's why you're listening day in and day out. But whatever that cause was, because of which you are interested in the scriptures, that is the first chapter. We are giving words to it, and that is crisis. It could be identity crisis, it could be despondency, it could be confusion, as you said. You don't know what is right and what is wrong. You don't know who you are, in essence. Then chapter 2, where are we? Chapter 2 affirms the existence of the self. Jnaneshwari Maharaj is not giving importance to verse number 32 and forward till 54 or 55. So verse number 10 or 11 to 31 is because Arjuna asked, tell me that which is for the highest good of me. So Bhagavan gives him the highest knowledge that you are the Atma. It cannot be burnt, it cannot be cut, it cannot be killed, it cannot be this, it cannot be that. And it was all a bouncer over his head. Then he gives him little bit of karma yoga in between, and then that really whets the appetite of Arjuna. And he says, if this is how it is, how do the wise masters live? Then the last verses from 54 or 55 onwards till 70, 72, whatever the second chapter is, the Sthita Prajna Lakshana. Those who are established in the truth, what are their lakshanas, what are their symptoms, what is seen in them, all those qualities were told. So first the 10th to the 31st verse, 10th verse to the 31st verse, and the last 15-20 verses, all this is, so main crux is not, but where our attention goes, karmanyevadhikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachana. Why? We are busy being the doer. But the chapter 2, Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying it's about that it affirms the existence of the self. First as a principle, Bhagavan tells, and afterwards as the Sthita Prajna Lakshana of the wise men who are established in the self. How do they move around in this world? What is their experience of the world? How do they conduct in the world while being established in the self? Sthita Prajna, being equanimous. This is the second. Next, continuing. One time हो गया क्या? Oh. 1436. 1436. मोक्षदानी स्वतंत्र ज्ञान प्रधान हे शास्त्र ये तुलाले दुजी सूत्र उभारिले मग अज्ञाने बांधलेया मोक्षपदी वैसावया साधनारंभूतो तृतीया ध्यायी बोलिला जे देहाभिमान बंधे सांडूने काम्य निषिद्धे विहित परी अप्रमादे अनुष्ठावे ऐसे निसद्भावे कर्म करावे हाती जा अध्यावो जो देवे निर्णय केला ते जाणावे कर्मकांड येथ आणि तेंची नित्याधिक अज्ञानाचे आवश्यक आचरता मोचक केवी होय पा. He says, it affirms the existence of the self and says that the philosophy of the Gita is based on the knowledge of the self, which is essential for securing salvation. Mokshadani Swatantra, the 1436. So Bhagavad Gita is telling in the second chapter not only about the existence of the self, and what is this existence? It's not a temporary. Waker is temporary. Dreamer is temporary. Sleeper is temporary. Meditator is temporary. We are not talking about that self. We are talking about the one who exists continuously without a break. And says that the philosophy of the Gita is based on the knowledge of the self. So the entire philosophy, because why do we say it is based on the philosophy of the self? Self alone is the infinite self. That infinite self alone is the Ishvara. Ishvara's breath is the Vedas. The essence of and that same Ishvara has taken the form of Krishna and given the Bhagavad Gita. All that was already told in the previous OVs. So now he says that based on the knowledge of the self, which is essential for securing salvation, then where is our attention? Is our attention, Arey yaar, where is the deer skin under my bum? Without that I cannot do meditation. Where is the darbha grass? Is that an essential? Is the cloth the essential? Is sitting on the ground or sitting on the sofa essential for salvation? Is purifying the body essential for salvation? Is purifying mind essential for attaining salvation? What is essential for salvation? Because as long as you focus outwards, salvation is slipping away. You have to focus necessarily on the conscious self, on the conscious principle, on the life principle, on the Chetana or Chaitanya. Chaitanya itself appears as Chetana. See? So, can I contemplate on money and be one with Narayana? Very difficult. Isn't it? So here Bhagavad Gita's job is to, chapter 2 is talking about, because in the first, the 10th verse to 31st verse and the Sthita Prajna Lakshan, that you are that conscious principle. You are that Atma. That Atma is of the infinite nature. And without contemplating on this Atma, on this conscious principle, on this constant principle, we cannot come to the moksha. We cannot come to be the liberated one. We cannot come to be the independent one. Not possible. So first understand, according to here, we must invite crisis. It's just, you don't have to do artificially. It's only with understanding, without going into depression. Arjuna went into depression. We are not choosing to go into depression. Why? We are systematically analyzing the whole world, that it doesn't have any answers. It is continuously changing. It is phenomenal. Just as I cannot catch the river, similarly I cannot catch the world. And yet all my efforts are going to catch it. Catch the health, catch my youth, catch my black hair. Keep my wife, keep my children. You're catching only, but they're slipping away. That's the nature. And we are not catching that which is already caught. What is that? The conscious principle, the self. So here, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, our attention is being brought to the conscious principle, without which, contemplation on which, liberation is not possible. Moksha is not possible. Then in chapter 3, it proceeds to teach the method of attaining deliverance for the person who are bound by ignorance. What was, I'll have to go and recap all the verses to see in what manner he is saying that, but what I have understood in the chapter 3 is that once we understand this, the chapter 2, what was that chapter 2? Apart from, yes, only by focusing on the self, the liberation is possible, but I'm not able to focus on the self. Why? Because I'm not purified, because I'm ignorant, because I'm not focused. How do I become, why am I agitated? Why am I not focused? Why do I have still so many thoughts in my mind? Because purification is not there. Then how do I bring about that purification? Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. As purification comes about, then what will happen? Then the third chapter happens. And what is that purification? Why that purification is required? Because where does our mind go? Our mind goes only into the past or future. In the present moment, there are no thoughts. All our confusions, problems, shortcomings, thought fixations, obsessions, phobias are thought-based only. And where are they coming from? Past or future. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana takes care of the future. Your mind is freed up of the future. Expectations, anxieties. See? And as the mind gets freed up, what does the mind do? We say one word, isn't it? When mind gets freed up, it expands. But I have told you many times, expanded mind is equal to focused mind. Expanded mind is equal to purified mind. Expanded mind is equal to single-pointed mind. And what is that focused mind? Some clarity is there. And what is that clarity? The third chapter tells us that it is not the karma which is the problem. And what is the problem?
Identification.
Karma phala.
No. The attitude or the intention behind the action is more important than the action itself. This is my take, huh? We'll see. I'll just see in what manner Jnaneshwari Maharaj is taking it. But this is ignorance, because I am thinking that I have to do the karma. I am thinking I am doing the karma. But karma, activity is taking place. You are not doing the activity. Activity is taken, because see, he's already said, chapter 2 is about the consciousness. Without focusing on consciousness, liberation is not possible. Where are we stuck? I am the doer. I am the karta. I am the bhokta. So where is our attention? On doing. And what is the third chapter talking about? This ignorance that you are the doer, take it out of your system. Activity is going on. And if you say that you are doing the activity, purify the activity. How do you purify the activity? Have pure intentions when doing the activity. If you think of sleep, all activity will take you to bed. If your attention is on hunger, all activity that begins from that moment on will take you to the kitchen and eventually end up with putting food into your mouth. You may not be a doer, but your attention that I am hungry was enough to propel all other activities, isn't it? Similarly, whatever activity is taking place in our life. So if he thinks that I am the provider for the family, then that type of activity takes place. She says I am the nourisher of the family. All activity takes place. Make sure food is always there at the right time. What is required for them, not what they like, what required for them. See, And that is not a burden anymore because her attention is on that. So where is our attention? On the doership or on the intention because of which activity is prompted? Activity will not get prompted without any intention. So what is your intention? Is it pure? Is it corrupted? Is it manipulative? Is it righteous? Is it sadistic, masochistic? See? This ignorance about this, that I am the doer. We are trying to dissolve the doer. Now where are we coming? We are from being the doer, we are coming to the intender. Who is, what attitude you have. Attitude is not at the level of body. Attitude is not at the level of senses. Attitude is in the mind. So first you are in the second chapter you are asked not to focus on the future, empty your mind. As a result, now your attention automatically falls on the attitude. So if things are not going your way, what is your attitude? How do you approach it? My way or the highway? Or you endure it joyfully if things are not going the way you want it. And if they are going the way you want, positively, then do you get excited and blow your horn for the whole world? Say, I'm a self-made man, I did it all. Or you remain humble, quiet. It's okay. See? Attitude. So this ignorance expresses as ego. Expression of ignorance is what? Avidya kama karma. Avidya means ignorance. Ignorance about what? About the conscious principle. And because you have forgotten who you are, therefore kama, therefore desire. About what? Desire for the world. If you are established in yourself, then there is no world. You alone are everything. You are, full stop, not even everything. But because I have forgotten my true nature, now my attention is going to the world. When it goes to the world, second chapter told, Dhyayato Vishayan Punsat Sangasteshu Pajayate. That when I put my attention on the world, then desire for the world erupts in my mind because that's the trigger. And I keep running after, then I want to maintain, then I want to survive, then I'm afraid of death, etc., etc. All one after the other it leads to. But now we are undoing that equation. Here in chapter 3, it proceeds to teach the method of attaining, where are we? Then in chapter 3, it proceeds to teach the method of attaining deliverance for the persons who are bound by ignorance. And what is that second step? That second step is be attentive of your intentions or attitudes towards whatever is to be done. What is the intention? Then if whatever activity has to happen at the equipment level, it will happen. Here we are told that those who are bound by body consciousness should give up motivated and prohibited actions and perform assiduously the actions prescribed by the scriptures. So this was one more point there. What is that? Nishiddha karma, nimitta karma, kamya karma and nishiddha karma. Did I say what? Nimitta, nishiddha and kamya karma. These three karmas are there. Nimitta karma, whatever has to be done every day. What is that? Get up in the morning. When? Brahma Muhurta. Then do what? Take shower, do the ablutions. Then what? Take a shower. Then what? Light a lamp. Then what? Before sun rises, do your japa and meditation. not after the sunrise. No, but I heard in Kathopanishad that the sun is illumined by my eye. So I am the sun for the outside sun. Therefore, I rise after the outside sun. आर्ग्यूमेंट से तो कर ही सकते हैं. इसका कोई एंड नहीं है. डिस्कशन किधर से भी हो जाता है. बोलने वाले बोलते हैं. See? So, where were we? Nimitta karma. Nimitta is all those that are Nitya and Nimitta karma. There are two, Nitya and Nimitta karma. Nitya karma is daily practices, disciplined practices. How? According to scriptures. Then what happens when you do that on a daily basis? There's no free time, man. No free time to twiddle your thumbs. No free time for khurapati. You know, khurapati? क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश? हाँ, no time for gossip, no time for just whiling away your time. You know, they say empty mind, devil's workshop. So no time for that. I don't accept empty mind, divine workshop, not devil's workshop. But at the relative level where we have not recognized ourselves to be the conscious principle, we are under the effects of ignorance, then empty mind gives rise to all unsorted, unwanted things. People go into depression also in the loneliness. So what is to be done? Live a busy day according to the scriptures. Day in and day out. Nimitta karma, the special occasions that are done in one's life, like Mundan, Janeu, this, that, everything. This must be practiced. Then Kamya karma have to be given up. All actions prompted by desires must be given up. And Nishiddha karma, those actions which are prohibited. Not just because scriptures are saying, but common sense. Just observe life. They should not be practiced in our life. Nishiddha karma. So this is also Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying that here we are told that those who are bound by body consciousness, means those who are thinking that they are the body, then should give up motivated, that is again Kamya karma, motivated and prohibited actions, they are called the Nishiddha karma, and perform assiduously the actions prescribed by the scriptures, and they are the Nitya and Nimitta karma, must be practiced. So the Lord concludes the third chapter by the statement that the prescribed actions should be performed in good faith. They should be performed in the good faith. Bhagavan is telling. And he says these first three chapters, first, second and third, they constitute the karma kanda. He is saying, we have divided differently. So let's see what he says now. This is how the first three chapters contain the karma kanda of the Vedas. When a doubt arose as to how this performance of obligatory functions would release one from the bonds of ignorance, then he continues in the next. Again, why should I follow the scriptures? One child, this family, these three boys I was telling, the youngest is very, very spiritually oriented. He says, so I was just taking a Mickey out of him. He says, Swami, Ramana Maharishi says this. He's only 20. Ramana Maharishi says this. I practice this. I don't need a teacher. I know what, Hridaya Kohara Madhye, and self is in the heart, and the heart is next to the sternum, and and I put my attention there and I go into meditation. I said, very good. I went for a coffee and see the new house. I said, okay, very good. No, but tell me, why do we need to study scriptures? Then I gave it to him. He says, but I don't need it. I said, then if you don't need it, why you ask the question? Then why you have a doubt? On one hand, you say, I am self-motivated, I can find my answers. On other hand, you are having doubt why the scriptures are needed. So you decide which way you want to go. Either you be completely committed that answers will come from inside. It is possible. If you commit to it, it will happen. But if your interest is that I don't want to wait, I don't know when it will reveal, I want to know, and I will study the scriptures and take the straight path rather than getting lost in the jungle of whatever comes from inside, because by the time you know this is wrong, life is over. See? No, but what you are telling me, it can come from inside also. I said, yes, it can come from. And this way the discussion was going on. And in the end, I am saying, study the scriptures. I am taking the eagle's viewpoint and showing him both. But he is fixed that, who is that? Jai Krishnamurti, Jiddu Krishnamurti. He said there is no guru required, no scriptures required. I said, he said that after studying everything. He got initiated by hundreds of teachers who put their energy into him. He studied all the scriptures. Then, towards the end of his life, he said, because he reached that peak from where no teacher, no scripture, no objectivity is necessary in order to be. From that point, he is saying, have you reached there? No. Then study scriptures. No, I want it to happen. I said, it's happening right now, then catch it. No, it has to happen. I said, that's why you need to study scripture, because it's happening right now. So he will find his way slowly. So this is so here when he says, when will we practice what is given in the scriptures in our daily life? Nitya nimitta karma. When will we, people in Australia, including Indians, they take shower at night and go dirty to office in the morning. See, are you one of those? Don't answer, I'll come to know. Then I will not come and eat food at your house. So you need to get up in the morning and be fresh. You want to be fresh to go to sleep. You don't want to be fresh for the day. What is this? Nishiddha karma. This is not nitya karma. So so you have faith that going to sleep is more important than remaining awake. That's why you're taking shower. Swamiji, you also take in the evening? Yes, I take 2 times, morning also, evening also. Sometimes 3 also, if it is too hot. But my day never begins without a shower. Ever. Sometimes I tweak it, maybe once in 2-3 years. Just now in Bangalore I did. She said, Swamiji, breakfast is ready. I said, I have to take shower. I don't eat without any shower. Nahi, Swamiji. And hot food was coming. She says, I just made it. And then you are going to take shower another 5 minutes, then it will all get cold. I said, normally I follow that rule. I said, okay. देखते मन में क्या होता है, how my mind reacts to it. I took it as an experiment. I did it. I enjoyed my breakfast. After that day, now today that thought is coming as an example. No guilt. Then it's okay. Swamiji, we also take shower in the evening and we don't have guilt in the morning. That we didn't take shower. See, we have to have, if we have faith in what scriptures are saying, then we will practice it, no? If we don't have faith in the scriptures, then we will not practice it. If you don't have faith in Bhagavad Gita, you will not come and listen to it. If you have faith that this Bhagavad Gita is fantastic information to correct my husband, then you will never change. You will only try to change the world, but never change yourself. See? So that's why very clear, the first step, second chapter itself, he said that it is to establish the consciousness is the way to liberation. Not action is not the way to liberation. Upasana is not the way to liberation. Knowledge is not the way to liberation. What is the way to liberation? Being the consciousness is the way to liberation. We'll leave it here. Fourth chapter, next class we'll begin. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om.